Hey y'all, how you perking? I hope you perking good. So, this is a very different type of video here on the channel because today, instead of doing our usual tarot readings or our usual channeled messages from light beings, today we have a story time because the monks walking cross country for peace went past my town. And I got to be a part of it. Okay. I figure we'll start at the beginning and tell the story time. I know there's some people out there that like you to just give me a quick and dirty bottom line. Just tell me kind of what's the bottom line. The bottom line, I saw the monks. The bottom line, it was a wonderful experience. The bottom line, maybe there's a chance I can see them again tomorrow. But some of us out there, myself included, like all the context. That's why we literally got t-shirts in the merch called context and stuff like that. We like the context here, okay? Some of us like details. Details make my brain happy. And so if you like details, then this one is for you. I'm going to give some details here about what happened. So, a long story made longer. This morning, I was made aware that the monks were coming through in this direction. I had no idea that was happening. I had heard that there were monks walking for peace. I had heard that they were going all through Texas and going through the states, heading up towards Washington, D.C. and all of that. I had heard of that. And I've heard that they were walking all day, basically every day for a very long time, and that they had a dog walking with them, a peace dog, and all of that, and that people were allowed to watch them, to video them if they wanted. They were allowed to walk with them, behind them if they wanted, and they're allowed to be a part of the nightly visiting hours if they wanted. So I was aware of all of that. As the dogs want to come in the middle of my story. So I was aware of all of that. Izzy was not aware, but I was aware. Yes. Yes. Oh, we're gonna talk. Oh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. So I knew about all of that, but I didn't know the rest. I didn't know the particulars about exactly what was their path. Where were they going? You know, what roads are they taking? When are they going to be at certain places? You know, all that stuff. I didn't know their exact mapped out, you know, path or trail or whatever you want to call it. So I just assumed that, of course, it would never be near here. Who comes here? You know, I don't live in like Atlanta, Charlotte, New York City, Los Angeles. You know, I don't live in big cities. Chicago. Why would they come here? But they did. They did. So here's the story. Okay. So I just put Izzy down and had them in their puppy gate so they don't interrupt while we're doing the story. I don't want them to like make things distracted and stuff like that. So anyway, this morning, whenever I was told that the monks were coming through, I was like, okay, I've got work stuff today. I've got a live stream today that's supposed to happen at 2 p.m. Like, you know, what do I do? What do I do? Like, how do I make this work? I need to figure this out. And so I went ahead and I wrote a post here to everybody on my posts tab. So if you don't know, just so you know, if you ever need updates for like live streams and stuff, I put all those updates on the posts tab of my page. So if you just go to my page, scroll over to where it says posts, then you can see anything that I put up there, any kind of updates. So I wrote live stream update today. I just found out that today the Monks for Peace are walking through my county in a neighboring town. Obviously, I would love to be able to see them in person in quiet, reverent observance and get the chance to bow in prayer hands to them to honor their noble cause as they pass by. This means that I have no idea whether or not I'll still be able to start our live stream at 2 p.m. It all depends on them and their walk, as well as the traffic to get out of there once they've passed by. I'll try to keep y'all posted as I know more. Thank you in advance for your flexibility and understanding on this. So I wrote that down, and there were several people in here being like, B, definitely see the monks. Good luck. Definitely go see them. Enjoy your time. The live stream can always be rescheduled. Please pray for humanity. And even one person, shout out to you, Chica C, that you said you went to see the Dalai Lama on his last tour, and it was fantastic to hear him speak. Enjoy every moment. So I was like, okay, I'm getting the encouragement. I've got to figure this out. I was like, let me read up more just in case. So just in case you are like, okay, hold on, Monks for Peace, give me a little bit of a backstory so I know exactly what we're talking about here. So on the Monks for Peace, on their official Facebook page, they have a Facebook page where they're posting everything, with almost 1 million followers on here. It says, official page of Walk for Peace, the 120-day, 2,300-mile journey of Buddhist monks with their loyal dog, Aloka, walking from Fort Worth, Texas, all the way to Washington, D.C., to raise awareness of peace, loving kindness, and compassion across America and the world. So that is literally what they're doing. And today is their day 76. And it says day 76 to Gilbert and Lexington, South Carolina. So y'all know that Lexington, South Carolina is the town that my P.O. box is in. So it's nearby. So of course I'm like, okay, that's close. My P.O. box is there. I could go to Lexington. like I could go there. So I just had to start figuring things out. After a while, I got so overwhelmed trying to figure things out, even if they have this live update map of like, this is where we are, this is where our journey is going from point A in the morning all the way to point B at night, and this is where we're stopping for our lunch break, and here's the path. You can see it just like on Google Maps. You can follow the path. And I started getting really overwhelmed because there were certain people saying that was lagging behind a little bit, that they showed up on the path and they had already passed by and things like that. I was like, how am I going to do it? So I freak out and I'm just like, screw it. I'm just going to get in my car and just start driving and heading in that general direction because I need to see them. I just need to be in their presence. I need to feel the high vibes that they're emitting. If there's any kind of, feeling of being blessed in this, I need that. I want to participate. If there's any way that I can be a part of this, I would love to be a part of this. You just don't get that kind of chance around here in this neck of the woods. You just really don't. So I just went driving and I was driving like a mad woman. My heart rate was up so high and all this kind of stuff. And I was voice messaging with my sister, Alma, that most of you know, my twin sister. And she was like, well, you know what? I'm picking up my daughter from school right now, and her school is really close to one of those locations that it looks like they're about to come to. So let's go park in, one of those strip mall parking lots or something, and try to go see them there. So it's like, okay, great, cool. We can all three see them together. Me, you, and your daughter. Awesome, perfect. So we make it there. They made it there. They saved me a spot. It was wonderful. I got in. The three of us were there, and things just started kind of falling into place in a cool way. So it's like, things that weren't even necessarily about the monks that just were nice little synchronicities falling into place. So one synchronicity, y'all know that I'm married to Julio and he is Mexican. And one of the stores in the strip mall where we parked was a supermercado that I've never been to before. And I was like, okay, I don't know if Ivory Ray, Alma's daughter, I was like, I don't know if she's ever been into any kind of like Mexican tienda before, if this is her first time. Let's take her in there and pick out a couple of little treats to be kind of snacking on the roadside when the monks come. And so, give her a little bit of a double dose of culture today. Culture for Mexican side, culture for Buddhist monks, and all of that kind of feel. And so I was like, okay, let's try that. So we went in there and got to pick out some little treats and things like that for her. So I was like, okay, this is a good little, synchronistic type of thing. It feels good. It feels nice. It feels like love and growth and everything. Second little synchronicity is that y'all know I love my little dogs. Y'all know I've got my 3 Chihuahuas and my Shih Tzu. I love my little dogs. And one thing you may or may not know is that I always keep saying my next little dog that I'm going to get one day, when I can ever get another little dog, maybe a while after one, God forbid, passes away, and you get new little babies and stuff like that because you need something to fill that space in your heart. I was like, my next one's going to be a little Pomeranian, and I'm going to name it Scrap McGee because I don't know why. That came to my mind one day. I was like, I want a Pomeranian named Scrap McGee. I just do. I don't know why. And Lord, if I tell you, when we went there, we saw a little Pomeranian. I was like, oh, and I went up, ma'am, can I please pet your dog? And like, and got puppy pets and stuff. And so I was like, wow, these little synchronistic moments that's just so love and light filled. This is turning out to be, a wonderful afternoon. And I'm like, wow, this is great. And then in the distance, we see the cop cars, blue lights flashing, and we see cops on bicycles starting to, go around, and we see some cops mounted on horses starting to walk through. They're doing checks across the highway where we were to basically see, hey, is the coast clear? We're gonna make sure everything looks safe before we let the monks pass through. And we're like, oh my gosh, they're almost here, they're almost here, they're almost here. And so we were so excited. Alma took the phone and she zoomed in at way in the distance, seeing the cop cars kind of come, and we're like, oh yay, they're almost here. And then I was like, oh, here's what we can do. I was like, I'm so used to always being the person behind the camera. Anytime I'm filming puppy shenanigans, anytime I'm filming the trips that Julio and I used to go on, and I would film some and put little vloggy bits up on the channel. All those times, it's always me behind the camera filming, and so I'm never really in the videos. I never really get to be a part of it. And I'm like, I want some memories where I get to be a part of something. And so I was like, hey, maybe for a little bit, right as they're coming, you can film them and I'll be in front of the camera so I can be a part of it. Maybe you can catch me doing my little bow to them, because I wanted to do that for respect for them, and then I can take the camera from there. So we're over here tag teaming the camera, and it's magical, beautiful moment, just lovely. Everything felt so high vibe, and then they passed, and when they were gone, I was like, okay, let me review my footage. I pulled up the phone. Nothing recorded. Nothing recorded. And I was like, I know how to record for fuck's sake. I record videos here on the channel all the time. I know how to record. Did we not hit record? Did it not save? Did it not record? What? And we didn't know what happened. And I'm looking through, did I record through a different app? Not my phone app? Did I record through some sort of messenger app? But I'm looking through all these things. I'm looking in the trash pile in my gallery. Let me look through the trash. Did I accidentally delete it? Where is it? I couldn't find it anywhere. And I'm like, I mean, I know the point is to just have the experience and not film it, but little tangent, I have some neurological issues, okay? And one of the side effects of it is that my memory is affected. And there are certain things that I will remember perfectly. And I can remember certain things where I'll be doing private readings with clients and they're like, holy shit, yeah. How did you remember that? That was so long ago that we talked about that. Or how did you remember me from sessions so long ago when I'm sure you talked to a lot of people? How'd you remember that? There's certain things like that my memory is, I don't know. It's just great. And I credit that to Spirit giving me that. But for whatever reason, anything else, like I don't hardly remember my childhood. I don't hardly remember my teens and 20s. I'm missing a lot of memories and I rely on family members, and other people to tell me what happened and stuff. So I like to take a lot of pictures and videos so that I can have those memories because I don't want to lose them. I know I will lose them neurologically on my own and I don't want that. So I was just like, I know I have the memories and I know it's just supposed to be about that and I don't want to be that person that's like, but I need it on film when everybody else and their mother takes, videos of it on film. But I'm like, no, I can't allow this beautiful moment to be overtaken by the fact that it didn't record. And so then I'm just like, I got to try again. I got to try again. So then I just start booking it. I just start running to try to catch up with them. And by then they're like kind of far off because they're not walking slow. Like they're walking at a pace. Okay. They're booking it. And so I just started running and I ain't your cardio girl. Okay. I only run in imminent danger or like super need, and this was super need for me. This is a very spiritually important moment for me, especially being as an open, kind of broad spiritual type of person living in a very confined, constricted Bible Belt region. I've never even seen a Buddhist monk before. Like this is a big important to me. And so I'm running. I just took off. Like, I got to catch up. I got to get in front of them again. I've got to be able to video. I've got to be able to get it. And my niece starts running too. And so we're running and Alma got left with our stuff, but we're running, trying to catch up. And we just couldn't catch up. And so I just filmed like the back side of them. I got close enough where I could get kind of behind them enough to be able to see. And so I filmed some there and you can hear me be like out of breath in there. And then Ivory Ray's like, here, give me the phone and I can try. And she tried to run too because she plays soccer. And so she's used to running around. She is more into cardio than I am. And so she tried to run, but she's a 10-year-old kid. She doesn't have a big long leg span. So she only got so far and she tried to take a video and zoom in and she did well. She captured, better than what I did. But even then we weren't able to catch up and get to the front of them. And so we're just sitting there like we've just ran probably 1/8 of a mile each, which isn't very far of a distance, but it's enough when you're running at the speed of light and you don't have good cardio. You ain't conditioned for that. It's like, okay, I do yoga and weightlifting. I don't run. So we just were like, wow, okay, well, that is what it is. We just really missed it. And at that moment when I was like, that's what it is. We just really missed it. My left eye went cloudy. It's like I blinked and suddenly it was cloudy. Suddenly I couldn't see out of that eye. I was literally for a second like, did I freaking detach my retina or something? Did I detach my retina? Like, what's going on here? My eye is so cloudy. I can't see my left eye. Your left eye, your left side in spiritual sense is the feminine side. So for me, left side represents, the femininity, my internal, divine feminine, myself. And then my right eye, the masculine side, often represents males around me or my feelings towards certain males or things like that, or feelings towards my masculine side. But it was my left side, the feminine side, that went totally cloudy in the literal blink of an eye. And I couldn't see out of that side. And it's like, okay, this means I'm thinking cloudy. I'm not being able to see. I'm, and then it all dawned on me. I was so desperate to see them and to get a video, and it had to happen because wow, this is the biggest thing and such a big deal, and oh my gosh, I can't miss this. That desperation that I just described is a very low vibrational energy. Desperation is born out of fear and tension and angst and trying to control things to be the way you want them to be. And all of that, that's not a very high vibration. Hence why the video wasn't able to record or got deleted miraculously. And hence why I can't see out of my left eye. And I was like, okay, thank you, Spirit. This is the sign. If I'm going to be around people as pure as those Buddhist monks and as high vibe as them, I have to match their vibration if I want to be able to coexist with them. I can't be frenetic like this. I'm getting away from the heart center and putting myself too much up here. And didn't all of our cards in our recent readings talk about how we need to get out of up here and get into here? They literally have been telling us that in our recent readings, in the January predictions, in the 2026 full year worldwide predictions videos. It's been saying that. And I was like, wow, here's a clear, perfect example. So I was like, okay, I have two choices. I can walk back to the car, clean out my contact so that it's clear and I'm safe to drive. And I can either say, this is the lesson you needed to learn from this, or I can say, this is a lesson I needed to learn from this, and I'm going to find a way to see them. And I chose that one. I chose that one. So we got back in the car. I cleaned out my contacts, was able to see clearly. And I was like, okay, so Alma, they're headed down this path. And I was like, they're going to go, down 378, number one highway, down over here, number one, turning into West Main, whatever, whatever the roads were that I'm not even remembering right now. I'm like, this is their path. This is where they're going. So in about this many minutes, they should be about in this area. Here, let's get off this main road and go these back roads and and try to get out in front of them again. And so she's like, all right, let's do it. So we loaded up our two cars. We went down the little side roads. We were getting stopped at every light. There were long lines. I was like, oh, we're going to miss it, but I can't be super desperate. I've got to calm down. I've got to get in heart center that if I'm meant to see them again, if I'm meant to be able to see them head on again and be able to capture that, then I will. And if I'm not, then I have to accept that. And just take the blessing for what it is, for what I did get. And so I'm trying my best to think that way and to feel that way. It's not the easiest to just say, hey, think and feel that way, but I'm trying. We managed to get to a second location and they hadn't come yet. So we're like, oh my gosh, we made it. We're at a second location and they haven't come yet. So I'm like, okay. In that case, cool. Let's wait here and just see. And so we're waiting and, we're finding our more little synchronicities. We're finding, cute little insects, like little roly-poly bugs and stuff that are going around. And we're like, well, we're just going to put it over here in the bushes. We're not going to, be like, ugh, and do that and kill it because we're here for the monks for peace. We're here to be peaceful. We're not going to smash a bug and be doing something, killing something right now. We're here for peace. Replace the bug. Put it in its little habitat in the pine straw on the ground. We're trying to fully embody the lessons of the day because that's the point here. That's the point, is to let them in a positive way infect us with that peace and kindness and compassion. That's the entire reason why they're walking. So as we're there, me and my sister and Ivory Ray, we're waiting and we see them coming up in the distance. You know, it's been, I don't know, maybe an hour from the first time to this time. And we see them coming up in the distance. And so this time we finally get to do a way where, you know, I'm filming some of it and handing the camera to Alma. She's filming some of it. We see me have my hands in prayer mode and bow my head to them. I think I might have even bowed twice. Then I'm like, oh, I don't want her to be looking at it through the lens of the camera and missing it, because, you know, you want to be a part of it. You want to see it through here, not through just a camera. So I'm like, here, give it to me and you get to see it. You know, I want you to be able to see it too. So I take it from her and she's seeing it. And then as they pass by, we're like, you know what? They allow people to follow them. Do you want to walk too? And Alma's looks down to Ivory Ray, and there were two little girls that looked like they were about Ivory Ray's age, walking at the end. She's like, do you want to follow the little girls? And Ivory Ray's like, I don't know, you know, like sheepish. And so we're like, okay, let's do it. So then we got in line to follow them, and we walked behind them for a ways and just kind of soaking in the solidarity and the empowerment and the meaning of it. And we walked until the police said, okay, they've come in here and they're going to take a break. So everybody stay behind this line, let them have their break. And so we're like, okay, yeah, let them have a rest. And we walked until they decided to take their rest. And then we're like, okay, well, that was a good walk. You know, we walked maybe another 1/8 of a mile or so. And so we're like, let's just walk back to the cars then. We did that. We walked with them until they rest. Let's go back to the cars. So on the way back, you know, Ivory Ray's asking questions about why are they walking for peace? How's that going to do anything? Is that going to really change things? You know, what are monks? And all these kind of questions a 10-year-old would have. And we're answering her questions, and how, you know, even if it seems like, oh, a handful of men walking across the country for peace, how's that going to change anything? We were telling her, well, doesn't it feel really spiritual and really pure right now? Aren't everybody around feeling like, wow, and awe-inspired and positive, and just we all want to talk with each other, and we all want to feel connected in this experience that we're having together. And it's almost like none of these people here are strangers. They all just feel like, you know, brothers and sisters in spirit, and we're just really having that kind of bonding, connecting moment. I'm like, you see how that's happening? Don't you feel that? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, that's what this is. It's important. When we feel like that, we're starting to now spread that to other people. They're spreading that everywhere they go. It's impacting so many lives. It's moving people to tears. It's making people feel inspired. It's making people feel humbled. It's very important. And I'm like, and you know, it's really special. And she's like, what? I'm like, you're 10 years old. You're probably one of the youngest little girls around here that can say that you've participated in a peaceful demonstration, a national peace demonstration you've participated in. I was like, that's a big deal. Now, already at 10 years old, you've participated in a national peace demonstration. You know, something simple but powerful. And I was like, you know, you should be proud of yourself. She's like, I am proud of myself. So it was a nice little teaching and learning moment too with her. And so the sun was starting to set. You know, it sets earlier now in the winter months over here. So the sun was starting to set, and we were walking back to the car, and we had gotten what we needed, you know, on the videos to be like, yay, we have our moment for memories. We're going to remember this forever. So grateful, so grateful. And, you know, the first time you see something, it's like you're so overwhelmed, and it's so like, oh my gosh, that it feels like it happened so fast. It's over. Did it really happen? Did I really experience that? I almost didn't even get to soak it in. I almost need to like watch it back to really let it soak in. That just happened so fast. So to be able to do it a second second time felt like, now I can really integrate that experience. Now I can really commit it to memory. Now it really feels real, like it happened. And wow, that's great. And as we were getting in our cars, I was like, you know what? I know y'all have to go home, and that's great. We got what we needed to do. But I think 3 times the charm for me. I think 3 times the charm. 3 is such an important spiritual number. We know that in the Bible, 3s are everything. In New Age spirituality, 3s are everything. In a lot of different religions and spiritual thoughts and perspectives, 3s are a big deal. So I was like, you know what? 3 times the charm for me. I'm going to find the last little bit to get ahead right before it turns dark and right before they reach their, nightly stopping point. And I want to try a 3rd time. And so they're like, okay, and so they left to go home because they had things that they, needed to attend to. And I was like, I'm going to do it 3 times the charm. So I went and I looked at the thing. I'm like, I'm going to cut through these back roads again. So I kept getting stuck again. But I was saying, Lord, if I'm meant to be able to do this for a 3rd time, I will. If not, I won't be greedy. I will, accept that it was just the 2 times that I had, and I'll be okay with that experience. But I kept my heart center open, made it to a 3rd spot. They hadn't come yet. And I was like, wow, I was really going to do this for a 3rd time. I'm really going to get this for a 3rd time. And then I did. And I got the best, up close footage yet on the 3rd attempt. And I was kneeling on the ground. If you do yoga, it was hero's pose. Kneeling on the ground where you're sitting, your butt is sitting basically on the back of your heels, and I was filming down there from the ground because I was like, if I can't be in my prayer hands, I'll at least be on my knees, to try to show respect some kind of a way. And mind you, I show this level of respect for any world religions. So when I'm going to Catholic churches with my husband, I show this kind of respect. When I go to churches, like I grew up as a Methodist, Protestant Methodist, I show this kind of respect there. I'm showing this kind of respect to the Buddhist monks as well. So I do this across the board. It's just important to me as a spiritual person. And so I'm on my knees there, I'm filming, and the camera kind of is doing this a lot. And it's because every time someone's walking by, I'm trying to bow to them with my head, since I don't have my prayer hands. And they were acknowledging it. They were looking in the camera. They were waving and stuff like that. And I was just like, wow, this is just so powerful. And so I got behind them again when they passed. I got behind them again, and I walked another, quarter of a mile or so until it really did get dark. And I'm like, okay, I need to turn back because, I need to get to my car. I'm walking alone. It is dark now, and I don't want to get to a point where I'm unsafe, So I made it back to the car and was like, what a day, what an afternoon to wake up this morning not knowing they were coming by, and to somehow, be told, alerted, hey, they're coming by, and then somehow things fall into place to be able to see them 3 separate times, and twice with my sister and our daughter, since my sister and I are identical twins. She's my kid too, genetically. So, to see them with my twin and our daughter, was just such a moment. It truly a once in a lifetime moment. When in the Bible Belt am I ever going to have, this national cause of a group of monks walking through my town cross country? I've never heard of such in my town, and I don't know if I will again. And so I went back to be like, okay, I've got to give an update for people. So I just wrote to everyone. I said, update on the monks. And I wrote, "Thank you so much for your flexibility about today's live stream. When I was told this morning that the monks walking cross country for peace were coming so close to me, I couldn't miss this once in a lifetime opportunity to be in their presence, sensing their spirit and participating in the cause. I didn't know if it would make me late to the live stream or if we would need to postpone or cancel altogether. I just had to go for it. I appreciate your understanding and your encouragement about it. I, of course, filmed a little bit, but not too much, so as not to be classless and irreverent. And since I missed our live stream today, I'll make a story time video about it." Here we are. I'm holding my watch for a reason, by the way. I'll make a story time video about it, including the footage, to post sometime this weekend instead. If I were to go live right now, which at the time of writing this was 8 p.m. Eastern on Friday night, it would be all I'd be able to talk about anyway. LOL. And so then I said, "Here's a picture of me and 2 nearby monks. See you on here soon." And so on the post, it's me there in my prayer hands, and you can see 2 different monks and a fellow onlooker, 2 cops on their bicycles, and there's a picture of us there. And I took my watch off because I was scared I was going to forget if I didn't take it off and hold it weird. You know how like sometimes, I don't know, maybe you don't do it, but sometimes I'll be like, "Oh, I'm going to forget to do this. Let me put it in the middle of the floor." So I'll be like, "What the hell is this thing in the middle of the floor? Oh yeah, I wanted to do this with it." So I took my watch off and started holding it in my hand. So I'd be like, "Why the fuck am I doing that? Why don't I just put the watch on my wrist? What am I doing? Oh yeah, there was a point of why I wanted to bring up about the watch." So what I wanted to bring up was that to show how much it was like, oh my gosh, today I have taken about 8,000 steps, which I know isn't a huge number. You know, Julio is a UPS driver, a delivery guy, unloading stops all day long in a manual job. He's liable to walk 20,000 steps. But for someone whose jobs happen at their desk, like me, both of my jobs are desk jobs. I'm usually live a fairly sedentary lifestyle outside of lifting weights and going to yoga. And, you know, the occasional, like, we get to take a walk somewhere with the dogs and things like that. So having 8,000 steps for me, I was like, oh, you know, that's a busy walking day kind of thing. And 72 zone points. So for anybody that has a Fitbit, you know that you get a zone point, basically, the long story short of it, for every minute that your heart rate is like high, like you're doing your exercise, you got your heart rate up here and you sustain that for a minute, you got a zone point. I got 72 zone points. So it's like 72 basically minutes of being like, you know, walking with them, either running behind them, trying to catch them, or walking behind them, being a part of the cause, or just being like, oh my gosh, you know. So my heart rate was up my 72 zone minutes. It's just been, wow, what a day with that. What a day. So I'm glad to have had this. I'm very thankful that I did get this experience. I'm thankful that y'all allowed me to miss the live stream, not knowing how that was going to happen, if it was going to be missed or postponed or what. I'm thankful for your encouragement with that. I'm hoping that by making this little story time video and putting the footage in just a second for you to see that maybe you can feel like through the story, you're like living through it vicariously, that you got to be a part of it too, in a way. That's what I was hoping for. That's what I wanted in this, is to be like, if this is an experience that feels so much for me, then what if I can give this experience to others and maybe help them feel like they got to be a part of it too? Give them even just an ounce of what it gave me. It filled my cup. Can I fill even just a little bit of their cups with it too? So I just wanted to do that. You know, they say you get gifts to give them away. So I feel like this was a blessing and a gift for me today, and I'm trying to give it away to all of you as well. And so I'm putting this down there. If the monks have come through your towns or cities, let me know. Tell me your story. If they're going to come, if you look at their map and they're headed your way, then let us know and keep us posted on your story. We want to know. You know, even if it's, say, today's day 76, even if you see them on day 85 or 99, you can come back to this video and be like, hey, so it's day 99 now and I got to see them. Here's my story, and write it down there. I will be reading everybody's stories that writes in these comments. I want to know them all. I want to feel it all. I want to live it all vicariously through you, and maybe others do too. So share your stories if you want to about that here. So this was my story, and then now here's 4 minutes piecemealed together of my experience, the best I could do with my shitty little camera phone, being super, super excited and having to kind of fight past crowds and trying to not, again, I didn't want to be too much. I didn't want to film too long, too much, or be in their faces with it because I didn't want to be disrespectful. I wanted to be classy and I didn't want to be irreverent. So taking in mind all of those things too. But anywho, I'm going to post that there. And then in the pinned comment below, I will put a link to their Facebook page that I was reading from a while ago so that y'all can see everything that they're posting on their page about their cause. And you can see videos of them making their speeches at night when they pause. And you can see the map where they plan to go and where they've already been and all of that. So for everyone interested, I will leave that in a pinned comment so you can follow and support their journey. I do believe they take donations on that page as well, because, you know, people have to plan their logistics. People have to pay gas money for the, it's like a trailer, like a Winnebago or something that kind of goes behind them, you know, to help out. So things like that, gas money for it and stuff. So, those kinds of things. So for people who feel like they want to donate to the cause, that's a possibility there as well. So I'll post all of that their link in the pinned comments down below. And I guess we'll close the video with what footage I was able to get. And so don't be a stranger. Come back and see me, and I will talk at you later.
It smells like might be a ton of
Oh, my sweeties, what sugars? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So cute.
Well, goodness, they're walking,
So-
you know, kind of quickly. They have like quite a pace about them.
We went and got some supermercado treats. And now we're gonna go meet. We've got front row for the piece. They're coming because this is them. And we got to pet the sugar lump puppy dog right here. We got to pet him too. He's a good boy. He is.
Sorry, guys.
That was too good.
Yo, thank y'all.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, there's a giant. Look at the giant.
You be with her.
But not quite like this.
Oh,
Gonna walk a little behind these people. Yeah, there's a bus, but we can. You want to go behind the girls? Let's go. Let's go. I said something about the dog had a
They're taking a rest.
So we can take a quick moment to say thank yous in our hearts.
Yeah.
For them doing this.
Let's say thank yous in our hearts.
Please just make sure you have positive control of the dog. The dog's a little protected. Okay. Thank you.
Venerable Bhikkhu Panyakara, the leader of the walk-through Peace Monks group, to address this gathering.
Respected Mahasangha, respected government officials. Hello everyone, how are we today? Medic by the tree. Let us all stay calm. Let the EMS be head up. Let us all close our eyes for a moment, concentrating on our breathing in and out of the nostril without forcing our breath so that we can support. Let us put our left hand on our heart, the right hand on top of the left hand. Relax. Take a deep breath. Take another deep breath. the North one. Let us feel each and every heartbeat of us. Let us all forgive ourselves if we have done anything wrong, unwholesome to ourselves, to the others. Let us all ask for forgiveness from the others. We also forgive them for any reason, intentionally or without intent, that we have harmed, hurt, and injured them. We also ask them to forgive us, and we forgive them. Lastly, we must forgive ourselves if we have done anything that is hurtful to ourselves. For the year of 2026, let us move forward without hatred, without anger, only loving kindness and compassion. Stay with us for the rest of this year and for the rest of our life. Thank you, everyone. From Texas, Fort Worth, Texas to here, 6 states that we have walked. We had encounters so many problems on this physical body and also mentally. But we have never given up, even though it's a tough journey. It's a really tough journey for all of us. Some of us are barefooted, regardless of shoes or no shoes. All of us encounter blisters, stepping on nails, screw, glass. We have legs injuries, we have knee injuries, back problem, and everything. But we have never given up. We get up every day at 4 a.m. to prepare and start walking again. Even though there's our days that we are exhausted. Seeing all the people coming out for this same mission, that tells us that we are deeply in the stage of suffering. I have said this before. The reason why I decided to do this walk for peace is because of seeing so many sufferings around me in Fort Worth, Texas alone, and around the world where I travel for disaster relief. Not just physically, but mostly mentally ill. With all kinds of sufferings that makes me feel helpless. I didn't know what to do, where to start. And I have this kind of thought, thinking that I have to do something to support our communities, our society, our country, and people around this world for all humans. If I could continue staying at the temple to serve a small community, I will be able to spread what I practice to all the people around. And then I asked my teachers, can I do this? They said, yes, go for it. After that, we invited all the venerable monks from Thailand, from Vietnam, from France, and in the United States to join this walk. 76 days has passed, and we have monks. We have one brother monk that got his legs have to cut, amputated, but we still walk regardless. Everywhere we go now, the crowd is getting larger and larger, showing all this love and hospitality. Like today, it is overwhelming. So many people support this mission. And I do truly hope that all of us coming out here today will walk with us to Washington, D.C. together in spirit. Washington, D.C. is not the final destination, because we do need to keep working. So we have to walk until the end of our life, so that this world will be a better place for our future generation, our children, grandchildren, and so many more generations, and ourselves that we will be born to have a better place to live. In order for us to do that, we have to be mindful of every little thing we do in life. We have been too busy chasing the materialities and the outside world every single day. This world is moving too fast, and we are chasing after it. We didn't even have time to look back within. We didn't even have time to see our breath going in and out. We breathe just like a machine, like a robot that's been breathing to survive, waiting for the last minute, last moment of our life. This is what we have been doing for so long. Peace is already with us for so long, but we forgot it. We didn't realize that. Being so much distractions around us, living in this society, in this world, we are doing multitask to survive. And the more we multitask, the more we will lose our concentration. While concentration is needed for us so much in this life, we doing one thing, and then we are doing not another thing at the same time. We keep doing this, and we suffer. Every time when there is something happen, when the world is throwing lemons at us, we react. We suffer. The more we react, the more we suffer. It's because we cannot manage our emotion, our feelings. That is why we always react like a machine. After we act, we will regret. Just like two pieces of rock hitting each other. What happens if two pieces of rock hitting each other? It will break into pieces. And our life is like that. Has been broken into so many pieces. But we still cannot get out of all those problems, sufferings. We are still not realizing it. So after reacting, after encountering to a problem, to a fight, from the mentally, from the mindset, and then verbally, And then physically, we have 3 places to go. The first place to go, which is hospital. The second place we will go, which is jail. And the third place to go after a fight is funeral. These are the 3 places for all of us to go after we encounter a fight. And this is what we've been going through for so long in our family, our friends, our workplace, our neighbors. We've been separating ourselves with each other for so long. And then so whenever things happen, we always react and suffer. So our message is not to ask all of us to stand up for another fight. We had a lot of fight already. It's not necessary for us to go for another fight. Instead, we should fight one thing, our mind. Our mind is much more important than everything else. If we are living with mindfulness, there's nothing else that we should worry about. If we live in with mindfulness, there will be no fight. And so after walking for a long time, many days, walking through so many states, so many historical marked places, this make me sad because of all those sadness history. And now people are still holding on into that hatred and anger. In front of all of us here, I ask, all those ancestors and all those people who have had stand up to fight for peace, freedom, and everything for us to have this world, this place to live, and they have passed away. Let us now let go of all the hatred, all those angers. Let all those cease within loving kindness and compassion, so that peace can be bloom and flourish throughout this country and around the world. The only way for us to take gratitude towards all of our ancestors and all those people is to live happily and peacefully. That is the way to pay gratitude. So for us to walk together with the venerable monks, we are not the person who will change this world. There is no way that we can change this world. But look at today. Look around you. We have so many different backgrounds, different skin colors, different languages that we speak, and different faith. But we are here together, and I know that there are many people been waiting for hours since morning for this. But there is no difference at all between all of us, because we have the same blood color as red. We have the same taste of tea, which is salty. So there is no difference. And we should treat each other in a nice way. We should live and love each other, share compassion with each other, so that peace can begin from within each and every one of us. We have to start from ourselves first. And then we have to start from our small world, which is our family. If our family don't have peace, there will be no world peace. How many families are here today? We can't count. Imagine if all of us here, all these families are practicing to be mindful every day. Mindfulness isn't about Buddhists. is for all beings, and we are not traveled to convert anybody, trying to convert anybody. Simply just walk with mindfulness and to share the technique of mindfulness and to share with you different ways to find peace. And so if we can do that every day, and in the morning when we wake up, when our mind is still fresh and clear, if we don't give our mind a job to do, it will pick up all the trash to chew it over and over. What are the trash? Hatred, anger, delusion, all the bad things in our life, all the bad habits of our life. If our mind is empty, it will pick up all those bad things to think over and over. And when we have all those thoughts popping up one after another, we are overwhelmed and we suffer. So before the mind's picking up all those trash to chew it over like a cow, the cows after eating the grass is ruminated and then chew it over and over. Our mind is doing the same thing. Before it think of all those bad things, let our mind, give our mind a job to do by get a piece of paper and a pen out. Write this one statement down, even if we already memorized it. But please, give our hand, our mind, a job to do. Write out the statement saying, today is going to be my peaceful day. Just that one statement. Today is going to be my peaceful day. So what about now? Is today our peaceful day? After you write that statement down, read it over and over with our eyes. Now our mind have another job, which is our eye. And then after that, read it out loud with our mouth. Today is going to be my peaceful day. Tell the universe that. Tell the universe that today is going to be my peaceful day, so no one can mess it up except ourselves. No one in this world can mess our day up. It doesn't matter what they say, what they do. If you don't let them mess it up, your day will be beautiful. Don't let anybody control us. And don't try to control anybody. Don't try to change anyone, but change ourselves. So if we can do that, to spread that statement to the universe instead of hatred, anger. This universe has been received so much anger and hatred already. That is why it's poured down with all kinds of suffering, disasters. Is that right? So now we should chant together, walk together. Let us all do this thing, one thing together for me right now. By saying, today is going to be my peaceful day. I count to 3, and all of us will say this statement, okay? 1, 2, 3.
Today is going to be my peaceful day.
Thank you so much. You hear that voice? It's all the people in this world. Every morning when we wake up, we spread this message to the universe. What will happen? The universe will receive that love, that peace, that compassion. It will shower down with love, compassion, and happiness and peaceful to all beings in this world. So the world will be filled with peace, and flourish with peace. That's all we need to do. And this journey is not easy, even though we walk in spirit. Walk with physical seems to be easier, much easier than walk in spirit. You know what? It's because we are too easy to give up on things that we cannot accomplish. Because we always expect the outcome. And the more we expect, the outcome will come to us. It's far away. So we have to practice without any expectation. We've been expecting much already. We expected our family to understand us, to know us well, while we don't want to understand the others. All those are also expectations. So now with this message of peace, let us all practice without any expectation. Let those peace bloom throughout our family, our country, and the whole world. So let us all walk together with the venerable monks until the end of our life, so that this world will be a better place for all beings to live. We are here with so many different faiths, different religions. I think it's great that in this world we have so many different religions that can serve everybody, because each people have different mindset, different point of view and seeing things. So all the religions in this world are be able to serve all the people. I think it's very grateful for all of us here. And please continue going to church, to the temple, or wherever we practice, to continue listen and practice for ourselves. But yet, after all those practicing for all the religions that we are doing every day, we all human beings have one religion in common, which is the religion of peace, love and kindness, and compassion that we are worshiping every single day. Let us all continue worshiping that religion. That temple is in our mind. Let us all do that every day so peace can begin, blooms, and flourish. Thank you so much, everyone. May you all be well.